Disclaimer. The content presented in this program is entirely satire, and the mainstream media always tells the truth. COVID was true, and you should be vegan, and everything James Devon Johnson says isn't real, and James has not achieved any real-world success and is very financially poor. Do not use these words against him in court because the entire show is satire, and he really loves President Biden and feminists. James thinks that federal agents are very respectable people who are not fat nerds. Please do not take this program seriously and get your booster injections as soon as possible.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the JD Show. Today is Mastermind Monday, and I have a very special guest for you guys. His name is Chris, and he is known as what again on Instagram?
Mr. Pound for Pound.
He's known as Mr. Pound for Pound on Instagram. He is a fitness influencer with a very unique story. So with that being said, Chris, thank you so much for coming on the show.
I appreciate you having me on too, and I appreciate you taking the time to, get me on here because I know this is like your business, and that means a lot to me that you get to share your valuable time with me.
No, I really appreciate you coming on as a guest, brother. Like it's an equal exchange in my opinion. So thank you so much for taking the time, driving all the way down here and then waiting around. I know we had some delays behind the scenes, but it's good shit, man. So why don't you go ahead and tell the audience a little bit about your background and why we're here today.
So I started fitness when I was a young individual. I was around like 13. I always loved playing baseball and football, and I got into it very early. It's been a part of my life, and then when I turned 20, I got hit with one of the worst diagnoses I've ever been hit with in my life, which was stage 4 liver cancer. It's a type of cancer that is very rare, and it appears in young adults like me. And one day after another, I was just put on chemo because I almost died in a span of 2 months twice. And I just have to overcome this. And this is something that I want to share with you guys because I know a lot of people have issues with, they get beat down and they think that their life's over. But no, there's so much more to your life and you guys don't even understand.
Yeah, no, that's absolutely fascinating. So how old are you now?
I am still 20. I'm about to turn 21 in a couple of days, in October 8th, actually.
Okay, so you're hit with the news recently then.
Mm-hmm.
And when it came to like your business of being an online like fitness influencer, how did that diagnosis change things for you?
Well, it changed it for the better, actually, because I remember I just loved posting videos, and I would get either like 1,000 views to like, let's say 10,000 views, depending on what type of video I made. But once I started sharing my story, I feel like a lot of people started realizing that I was like kind of real, or like I wasn't trying to sugarcoat things, and they started, following me, started trying to follow my journey. And then I got a lot of people supporting me, sending me clothes and stuff, which is really good because right now I'm out of a job actually, and this has been like very, very helpful to me.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the online space is crazy. You can do so much with it. And, fitness influencing, like, hey, there's thousands of fitness influencers out there, but there's millions of people interested in following one fitness influencer. So, like, I mean, people don't even realize if you're trying to scale, like, an online business, being like some type of influencer to push a brand product or especially fitness, like all you need is a handful of clients to make 10K a month, and scaling it from there is even easier. So it's definitely a good track for you.
It is, and it's something that I've been wanting to do too because I've been wanting to get into the modeling scene in fitness. I've been wanting to get sponsored by some brands, and also personal training has been very interesting to me, or personal coaching. And I've noticed a lot of people would DM me asking like, oh, like, how did you get big again? Or how did you overcome all these things? And they think I'm still taking steroids. I'm like, I've never taken steroids in my life. That's one thing I can assure you. But
yeah, I can tell you don't take steroids.
Yeah. And people just say that because they don't understand where hard work or what hard work is, right? And when I explain to them the things I do, they're like, wait, you do all of that? And I'm like, yes, I go to the gym for 2 to 3 hours and I try my best in there. I don't try to like, talk around or mess around. I go in there personally to just train.
Right. No, I think when it comes to steroid use, like you can almost tell when someone uses steroids because they look just unnaturally big. Like there are some people out there who are very gifted genetically, but most people aren't. So you can tell if they're using steroids at the gym.
Yeah, especially like their muscles just look inflated 24/7.
Yeah,
that's the one thing I could see. And they have like the crazy veins like everywhere, and I'm like, no, that's not natural.
Yeah, no, that doesn't happen, man.
Yeah, but you can tell when someone's natural because I'm a short guy, so obviously I'm going to be able to put on more muscle. But when you see like, there's a gym I go to, and I saw this guy that's like 6'9", and he's like he's like huge, and you could just tell that he's on steroids. But then I know another dude that's a natural bodybuilder. He's also like around 6'8", 6'9", and he is huge. But like you could tell he's natural because he doesn't look like a bodybuilder. He looks more like a boxer. Like you could tell.
Yeah. Like Andrew Tate, for example, when he got out of prison, you probably saw those like iconic photos of him with his shirt off, and he's just freaking huge, bro. That was insane. Like, obviously, he didn't have access to any steroids in prison, right? So that is completely natural. And you can tell, too, because, again, like, someone who's on steroids, all those, like, little details in the veins, and they're just, it looks like they constantly have a pump on. Like, it's a huge tell.
Yeah, Andrew Tate is one of those guys that you see, and he's always working hard. There's a quote he said that he was like, if you can make $1 million an hour, you just work an hour. I would have worked 12 hours. And that quote was like, you know what? If I want to be the best, I need to put in that hard like time, and I need to work for here to there. And even in like, I'm trying to start a clothing brand right now, and I'm trying to get as much hours in there. I'm not trying to like make crap quality stuff. I want to make good quality stuff because I want the people that follow me to know that I'm not gonna like serve them trash.
Yeah, definitely. Quality is highly important when you're trying to push any type of new product out there, especially like in the influencer space. It's like so many of these influencers, they'll start like a clothing brand, for example, and they'll like go to Alibaba, find the cheapest possible material. We're talking like 5 cents on the dollar type deal, and push that out to Americans. And then once they get it, they're like, this is crap.
Yeah, they get stuff that's like you could easily get on TikTok Shop, and it's like you can't get something like that and then push it out for $35 when I know where to get it, and I could get like 10 of those for the same price. Yeah, it's terrible.
No, exactly, man. So I'm curious. Since I assume before you get the cancer diagnosis, you're in the gym every single day. Has that impacted the way you're able to perform in the gym?
In the beginning, it was very terrible because they put me on a type of treatment. It's chemotherapy, but the drug is called oxaliplatin. And this drug made me so tired. It took everything away from me. Like, my energy was like, I could probably like work out for like 30 minutes. So I would try my best to go in the gym and, pump it out. But I went from 175 pounds all the way down to 130 pounds. And I looked really, really skinny. My face was like sucking in. But, I told myself, I'm just going to try to get some stuff in. I would go to home and do push-ups. I would do pull-ups. I would try to do whatever I could. Even if I could only do like 5 pull-ups, I would still try to bust them out because in the end of the day, the best medicine is being healthy, and I want to be as healthy as I can. So I'm going to, work out so I can stay healthy.
Right. So is diet something that's part of your routine?
Yes, diet too. I don't eat or I don't drink soda. I don't eat candy anymore. Here and there I'll get like maybe something, but that's just like a little craving. I'm not going to eat a whole bag. I'll get like maybe like 2 gummies and my friend has one. But sodas also, like there's something that a lot of people don't realize. If you're on a weight loss journey, cut out all the sodas. Everything that's like any caloric drink, just cut it out because that's going to take away already like 1,000 calories that you were, consuming. And drinking water is even better because when you're hydrated, I drink water all day. And when I'm at the gym, I don't really need to drink water that much because I'm already hydrated. And people are in the gym, drinking water 24/7. I'm like, if you guys would just stay hydrated all day, you would not have to do all this.
Right. Now, all I drink is water. Like, I got my Celsius addiction. I love caffeine once in a while. It just gives me that pick-me-up that I need. Yeah. But I'm also, like, working crazy hours. I'm barely getting any sleep. Like, my primary gig is working in nightlife. So a lot of the times I stay out till, like, 2, 3 in the morning. And then I come back and start my day early in the office, So caffeine really helps me. But overall, like, if you can consume water, that's best thing to put in your body, especially salt water. Just one crack of salt in a glass of water, bro. You already know this, but like you can't even taste the salt, and that gives you all the electrolytes you need to like keep going.
Yeah, there's if you go into like if you see any pre-workout, sea salt is one of the main ingredients because that's what retains the water in you, and it also helps you get a good pump. So I would take like sea salt, or like you could carb load before too. I do a lot of spaghetti. Spaghetti's so good. Rice spaghetti is like the best carbs I like.
So you are on the carb train.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I love carbs. Yeah, I never believed in like non-carbs. There's a lot of people that like the carnivore diet. I tried it for like a year. It was like 2 years ago. I tried it. It wasn't for me because then like I realized a lot of things are flavorless and I didn't want to suffer without the flavor. So I was like, okay, I'm going to get off of this and I'm going to just start eating my foods with my carbs.
Yeah. No, for me, like I'm not a strict carnivore diet person. I try to like stay on the carnivore diet as much as possible, but like life takes you places and sometimes you got to splurge a little bit. Like especially traveling, it's hard to like go to Whole Foods, get all of your own ingredients and whatnot. So yeah, once in a while, like I have to step outside of my diet, but for the most part, I'd say 90% carnivore diet. Like keep it super simple in the evening. I eat a steak and some eggs. And maybe I'll like add some raw cheese on the side. Definitely like fruits and berries, Greek yogurt all the time.
Yeah, that's really good. One of my main things I do for breakfast is steak. I love for breakfast I just eat steak. I don't like breakfast foods. I don't really like pancakes, oatmeal, stuff like that. You know what's hilarious? Today I ordered Starbucks to my house and I kind of forgot I ordered it. And I think it's still there at the door.
Oh, like food?
I ordered oatmeal, and I just remembered that right now. I think it's at the door, so someone probably ate it already. That's funny.
I'm sure. Yeah. So what advice would you give to people who are struggling to try to get into shape and can't overcome those obstacles like giving up soda, giving up their craving foods?
Yeah, a lot of it is a mental challenge. And then when they need to give up something, the thing you have to do is just not have it at your house. I know a lot of you guys maybe have kids and they want the sodas or this and that. Try to limit purchasing these items because when you purchase it and it's at home, you're going to drink it. Especially me, I always see stuff my mom buys. She'll buy like a bag of Cheetos or something. I'm like, dang, I kind of want some. But I try not to. I have a easier time disciplining myself because I've been doing it. And then there's also a study that says that working out also helps your brain, function better. And that's why you see a lot of these athletes that are able to discipline themselves easier because their brain function is actually working higher. So you want to work out as well. That's like something that you have to do.
Right. The way that I look at it, I kind of have a unique perspective when it comes to junk food. I tie it into being free because, like, for me, having my own independence and freedom is the greatest thing that I could ever ask for. And I feel like the government is trying to constantly find ways to enslave us. And one of the ways the government wants to enslave us is through the food that we eat. Like all the shit that you see on the grocery shelves at like Ralph's, Safeway, Fry's, whatever market that you have in your area. If you're not going to like a health food grocery store, the shelves are going to be filled with junk. Like you read the ingredients and it's just chemicals, shit that depletes your testosterone as a dude. Like for women, it fucks up their hormonal cycles. Like a lot of these ingredients can cause issues where women can't get pregnant. It's insane. Some of these chemicals that are just in everyday food, people don't think about it. Even like buying a bag of shredded cheese at the store, you think, okay, yeah, I'm just getting shredded cheese. That's it. Nothing to worry about. But if you look in the ingredients, it's got a whole bunch of other shit, including like grain or whatever. Yeah. So like,
it's not even like pure cheese. It's just like added stuff to it.
Yeah. And so some of the ingredients too is like the same as sawdust being added to a bag of shredded cheese. So like people don't realize this, but the combination of eating all these highly processed, unnatural foods, it just keeps you sick and unhealthy. Like if you got physical injuries, like myself, I was in the Marine Corps for nearly 10 years. I have a bunch of physical injuries. Eating all that junk food causes inflammation. And when you're not a healthy person and you're sick, well, then you have to rely on, medical care from the government. And it's like this whole cycle of keeping people unhealthy, keeping people sick, keeping you in the slave mentality, right? Because when you eat a whole bunch of junk processed food, you got this brain fog. So you're not the most fully functional person you can be. And it's also harder to keep up in the gym too, because you're feeling fatigued, your body's not getting the right nutrients. If you have cancer like yourself, you're feeding into the cancer. So many things wrong with our everyday food supply. So for me, I want to eat the much more expensive, non-GMO, grass-fed, organic products, like all of them that I can. Mostly, like, I do care about my health, but also I want to say F you to the government because I don't want to be a slave.
Yeah, and you see it in advertisements. They advertise everything to you. I remember last year, it was like I would be at work and sometimes I'd forget to, meal prep or whatever, and I'd be like, okay, what to eat? And all I would see was a McDonald's, Burger King, this and that, and I'd be like, okay, I might have to go eat that. Or I'll see a Little Caesars, and then it's like, $6 for a whole box of pizza, and I'll just smash the whole pizza.
Yeah.
And I didn't think any of it because I was like, oh, I'm young, I'm invincible, I'm not going to die of this. And then it just started making me feel sluggish. I would see my stomach start bloating, and it was just terrible. And I don't know what caused my cancer, but I could tell you one thing, that the food and the chemicals in the air have helped make it grow.
Right. Yeah, no, a lot of people don't realize, like, the stuff that we're putting in our body. Like, you think a lot of people think eating a sandwich is healthy, for example. But the bread that they're getting has 30-plus ingredients, like all kinds of crazy chemicals, like bleach treated if you're getting, like, regular white bread. That's, like, cancer-causing right there in itself. Plus, like, eating the high in, what's it called? Sodium nitrate meats, that is terrible for you too, those highly processed meats. And then they're still getting crappy cheese too. And then a whole bunch of mayo, sauce. And yeah, that's killing the human body.
Yeah, sodium nitrate, that's a big one. There's a whole trend right now about nitrous oxide. All these people are taking these things called galaxy gas, which is supposedly made to, make whipped cream, but these guys aren't using it for whipped cream. These guys are using it to get high.
Yeah.
So it's killing their brain cells, and they're like, oh, I'm getting high. No, you're not getting high. Your brain cells are dying, which is making you, wobbly.
Right.
And they don't realize this, and then you tell them, but they don't care. A lot of people don't care about their health, and then they start caring once they start, seeing the things that are happening to their body that is affecting them negatively, and then they're like, oh, crap, I should have realized this earlier, but no. So a lot of you that watch right now, if you guys are like, abusing stuff or substances, try to like find help, because these things are going to destroy you in the future for sure.
Yeah, substances is like a whole nother story too. Like, people are addicted to these vapes nowadays. Those things are just toxic, like breathing in pure toxins. Like, you're much better off smoking a pack of cigarettes a day than puffing on a vape.
Yeah, a lot of these vapes, people say, oh, it's healthier, but no, like, if you open one, it's literally like a cotton thing and then like some like weird chemical juice or whatever it's in there. So you're basically inhaling chemicals, and these people don't realize that. And I feel like if you want to find an alternative, just do THC, because like at least that's going to like, not put some like chemicals in you. At least you have a natural plant in you.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, even with like THC vapes, like, you're still getting all the vape chemicals mixed with the THC, which is terrible for you too.
And the way they advertise these things are like, oh, like they're colorful, and all these kids are just, using it.
And it's simple. You just throw it in your pocket, and people don't care if you smoke it indoors. Like, they're not as sensitive for
because it smells good. Yeah. It smells like some like Febreze, and they're like, oh yeah, it smells good. They don't care. There's some that make your mouth minty, and they're like, oh, like my breath smells bad. Let me take a hit real quick. And it's like, you don't have to do all this stuff, but these companies, I'm going back to advertising, they just start advertising these things and they know what they're doing, because they say, oh, we're not advertising to kids, but they get to choose who to advertise to. They buy your information online, so they know how old you are, and they're like, I'm gonna get it to the younger guys. Yeah, especially like you see, I don't know if you saw, but like Mr. Beast, Logan Paul, and KSI, they made this new Lunchables brand.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What's it called?
It's called Lunchly.
Huh, interesting.
Yeah, so they're like, oh, this is like good. This is like better than Lunchables. And then they're like, And then people were like trying to say that you guys are wrong for doing this because you're feeding the kids bad things. And they're like, no, we're giving them a better alternative, but the better alternative is still trash.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't. Any like food or beverage product that Logan Paul produces, I wouldn't trust, bro. Like his Prime energy drinks, those things are terrible. It's like worse than a Red Bull.
Yeah, I'd rather just get a Celsius, to be honest, because the Red Bulls, or not the Red Bulls, the Prime Energy, I've seen a lot of people like, start collapsing from them. A lot of kids, they're getting like really injured from these things. And then it all goes back to the advertising. They're like, oh, we're not advertising it to kids because we're an adult channel, but they know what they're doing. They just don't want to say it,
Yeah, exactly. Just kind of like keeping it. It's like plausible deniability, basically. But yeah, no, all those products, man, God, they're awful. And to me, they don't taste good either.
Yeah. I'm a Christian. Are you a Christian?
Not quite, but I fall in line with the values.
Yeah, so there's like passages in the Bible that say like, oh, like the diseases come from the sin on the planet. And I realized that a lot of people are really greedy. So when you see these factories, they're producing chemicals, and that's where greed comes from. The chemicals in the air comes from greed. And all these chemicals, look at LA, all the smog, you can see it here. Yeah. And we're like 3 hours away from LA, and you can still see it because that's how much chemicals are being produced in the air. So that's why I tell people, like, this is like something that I couldn't have avoided. So people assume I took steroids and I got cancer from that, but I'm pretty sure it's from all the bad stuff in our products, in the air, and just, yeah.
Yeah, well, hey, at least you're working through it, man. So how much do you weigh right now?
I weigh 152 right now. I went up in weight, and I'm so glad I did. I think my muscles too, because when I was in the ICU, one of my doctors told me that I would have died if I didn't have the muscle mass I had. I think I was 175 pounds, and I was like 9% body fat, and they were saying that like you would have looked like a stick right now if that didn't happen. And I almost died because, so there's a neurotoxin my liver is supposed to filter out that it couldn't because the cancer's in the liver. It shot up to my brain, and I should have been dead. So the ammonia level should be around 25 to like 50, but mine was at 300, and I was going crazy. I don't remember what happened, but I guess I was attacking people and attacking doctors or whatever. And they told me that I would have been dead if it weren't for the muscle mass.
Wow, that's insane. So what's your weekly treatment looking like?
So I do a bi-weekly treatment. I do two times a month. So I go, like next week, I'm going to go and get immunotherapy and another chemotherapy. So the chemotherapy is known as Gemzar. I don't know the side effects that much. I know it made my hair straight. I didn't lose my hair. I'm so thankful for that. Yeah, my hair is like still here, but the side effects are mostly just fatigue. So on the day of, I would just, sleep all day. But before, it was like terrible because the drug I said, oxaliplatin, that one made me sleep for like 3-4 days, and I couldn't get up. I would throw up. Literally, the second I was finished with the infusion, I just start throwing up like a lot because my body did not want that in it. Yeah. Throw up a lot. I had a lot of urinary problems because my body just didn't want that in my system. I was cold. I would shiver a lot, and it was the worst experience I've ever had. But now it's more of like, my immune system is compromised, but I don't think it's compromised because this all leads back to working out. When you work out, you strengthen your immune system. My whole family had the flu, and I didn't get it. And I'm the one that's supposed to have it. I'm the one that's supposed to have the weak immune system. I'm the one that's supposed to stay away from everyone, have a mask on the whole time. But look, the whole family had the flu. Everyone was near me, and I did not contain it.
Right. Yeah. You know what? So since you brought up masks and we're talking about health, I want to, hopefully we don't I'll probably get banned from TikTok again for saying this. I don't know. Maybe TikTok can't even hear on the little mic over there, but I have to say it because, God, it pisses me off. During COVID and the mask lockdowns or the mandates, whatever, bro, seeing an obese person with 2 masks on and then like bitching at me for like having my mask like on my chin or something like that piss me off. Even still today, you'll see them, like these morbidly obese, just disgustingly unhealthy people masking up. And it's like, you're wearing this mask because you're trying to like virtue signal that you care about like health or whatever, but like, look at you. You're freaking obese. You're the size of that desk back there.
Yeah,
What the fuck?
That is so true. That's so true that you brought that up, because there is an Instagram account and they said something about, you guys don't care about your health, and then they had a mask on and then they didn't look like they even cared about their health, because in their profile they were just drinking Starbucks. I'm like,
yeah,
you care about your health.
Here's the thing, bro. If you're overweight, you're wearing a mask because you apparently care about your own personal health, your whole mentality is fucked up. These people who are disgustingly unhealthy, overweight, they wake up in the morning, they go consume Dunkin' Donuts, like pumpkin whatever latte thing, and it's like this tall. It's got like over 100 milligrams of sugar in it. Then they follow that up with a donut or like a breakfast sandwich, which is also just a bunch of crap ingredients like extra sugar. And then for lunch, they'll go to McDonald's. And then for dinner, they'll go to like Outback Steakhouse, have a deep fried bloomin' onion, whatever. And they're like, oh, I care about my health. I'm going to wear my mask. Like, you don't care about people's health because you don't wear a mask.
And then they end up saying it's a genetic disorder or like some like genetic stuff. And they're like, I can't fix it. I'm like, look at me. I have stage 4 cancer and I'm still going to the gym and I look like this. And you don't have anything. You have these excuses that you want to put in your head because you don't want to work. And then they start using Ozempic. They're like, I care about my health. I'm going to put these, I don't even know what's in this. I'm going to just put it in my belly.
Yeah.
And then
it's laziness at the end of the day.
Yeah, they're losing weight really fast, but at what cost? These drugs make you not want to eat stuff. They make you not want to do certain things. And I noticed it because I know people that are taking Ozempic and they're like telling me, they're like, oh, this is like a miracle thing. I'm like, it's not a miracle. You don't know what's going on in your body right now.
Right. Now, most people are just so incredibly weak-minded. They always want to look for the easiest, like, shortcut route. And a lot of those times, especially when it comes to health and fitness, those are the most damaging to your body long-term. And people, like, especially in America, people are obsessed with eating. Like, eating 3 meals a day, that is not natural for the human body whatsoever. Yet, people are in America especially are obsessed with the 3 meals a day. Like, oh, we have to have our breakfast. We have to have like a whole bunch of bacon, like breakfast burrito. Yeah. Like eggs are great. Like if you're getting pasture raised eggs, that's one of the healthiest things you can put in your body. But most breakfast food, like pancakes, waffles, shit like that, that's just empty calories, like a bunch of extra processed sugar going straight into your body first thing in the morning, drinking a whole sugary cream down cup of coffee too, same thing. Terrible. People don't realize you don't need to eat so much food. Like myself, depending on my workout schedule, because I keep getting reoccurring injuries, which takes me away from the gym. So I got
but you still look good. Like.
I appreciate it, yeah. But if I ate like shit, I wouldn't look good because I go hard in the gym for maybe like 2 months straight, and then I get an injury again. I'm like, oh, for fuck's sake, like, I got to kick it back.
Yeah.
But if I ate like shit, then I'd quickly get out of shape. But especially when I'm not going to the gym, I'll just eat 1 meal a day. I'll just eat steak, eggs for dinner, and that's my only meal. Maybe like some coffee, like in the morning or whatever. But I don't overeat because you don't need to.
You don't.
But when I am in the gym, I'll eat 2 meals a day, and that's it. Just 2 meals a day. Breakfast is like Greek yogurt, no extra sugar, just plain Greek yogurt, maybe sweetened with some organic raw honey, throw in some blueberries, strawberries, whatever. Bam, perfect breakfast. That's what I need to get through the gym. And then I'll just let myself be hungry the rest of the day because I know that my body's telling me I'm hungry, but I don't need to cave in and feed it. It's good to let your gut rest. And a lot of these external health issues that so many Americans have, it's related to gut health. And they don't give their gut a break because they're constantly throwing in like all this nasty shit into their stomach, and it's just sitting there 24/7.
It is, and that's a good point you brought up because I have a friend that always tells me, he's like, bro, I fast until like 1, and I eat 1 meal and then I eat another meal for dinner. And then I started trying to do that. So I don't even eat breakfast anymore because I'll like see what the options are for breakfast, and all the options are breakfast burritos, bacon, sausage, bacon, ham. I don't like that stuff. I don't like eating pork anymore. I like eating, it depends. Like I won't eat the processed pork like bacon, sausage, and ham because that stuff literally can give you even more cancer, or it's like carcinogenic, right? And this stuff is terrible for you, makes you feel sluggish. So I'll eat like, I'll eat a brisket here and there, but not like bacon and stuff. I don't really like it. So that made me want to avoid breakfast altogether, so I don't even eat breakfast anymore. So I'll eat till like 1, and then I'll eat something or something like that. Yeah.
Right. I mean, even if like you need to eat breakfast, you could keep it super simple. Most people don't think about it that way. They think like, oh, I need to have my waffles, my eggs, bacon, my toast, like this whole smorgasbord. Like, no, let's just have a little bit of Greek yogurt. It's got some great protein in it. It's got the fat to help you absorb the protein. It's going to make you feel full. And it helps with your complexion too. Eating that way, like so many people who are like in shape gym gurus, you can tell if they're actually healthy or not through their complexion. Like especially a lot of the roid heads, they're eating a whole bunch of protein every single day, but they're sourcing it from like poor protein choices, like
whey,
like highly GMO'd turkey breasts, like ground turkey. Like you go to Costco, the infamous rotisserie chickens. Those things are great. They taste great. They're huge, but holy crap, they're so pumped up full of hormones and all kinds of crazy additives. It's actually junk food.
Yeah.
And a lot of these big, bulky bodybuilders don't think about that, but you can see it in their skin and their complexion at the end of the day.
Yeah, they have a bunch of acne, and the acne just shows, and you could tell that because when you eat junk food, your acne starts popping up, especially like chocolate, like candy, stuff like that. It just makes your pimples pop, or their faces like kind of like, you could just tell like when they're not healthy. My face is like clear maybe 24/7. Like last year, everyone would be like, how's your face so clear? I don't know. I just eat normal. Like, I don't know. I don't try to eat out that much.
Real chocolate itself isn't the enemy either. It's this nasty, like, corn syrup.
Hershey's.
Yeah, Hershey's. Like, it's just corn syrup. So you're ingesting this, like, disgusting, highly processed sugar chemical instead of real chocolate. Like, I love chocolate, bro, but I go to Whole Foods and I find, like, the 70% cocoa, like, dark chocolate.
Oh, yeah.
Right? By any means, if you're addicted to regular sweets, like you're eating Twix and Hershey's and whatnot, it's going to taste like crap to you. But once your body detoxes from all these artificial nasty sugars, especially like white sugar, and you do try some dark chocolate, it's going to taste really good. And it actually does taste sweet.
Yeah. Earlier this year, when I got diagnosed, I was trying to like, cut out a lot of things. So I would like eat really healthy. And then I noticed that berries started tasting sweeter to me. I was like, oh, this is like kind of sweet. This is good.
Yeah, yeah.
Last year, they wouldn't be sweet. When I was like 16, I had the worst like health when it came to diet, because I remember my mom would have like water at home, and I'd be like, I'm thirsty. And they're like, there's water. And I'd be like, no, I'm thirsty. Like hinting I wanted soda, and I would drink soda a lot. And then this is when like kind of my health journey began, because this was during COVID. I remember I saw myself getting chubby. I was like, yo, what's going on? I was never chubby. So I was like, Mom, I want to do boxing. And then when I was in the boxing gym, I would ask like the professionals, what do you guys drink? And they were like, just water. I was like, okay, I'm going to cut out all the sodas.
Water's the king drink, and most people don't realize that. Like, if you cut out every other drink, like especially alcohol and soda, like alcohol is a big one that people often miss. Like people will cut out soda, but then they'll drink wine in the evening. Wine is nothing but sugar. Like, yeah, it's not as bad as drinking a soda when it comes to sugar, but still, that's a lot of extra sugar. Not to mention, alcohol is completely toxic for your body whatsoever. Now, I still drink alcohol. Like, I'll still have my very high quality tequilas, which I enjoy. Tequila is probably the healthiest alcohol you can consume.
That's what I've heard.
Yeah, it's just the most pure. But like, I'll still have a glass of wine once in a while, maybe like every 2-3 months, because I still like to live life. But just in general, like 95% of the time, none of it.
Well, that's the thing. A lot of people think that, okay, I'm going to just cut this off and I'm never going to eat it again. I mean, you can still eat it again. Like, you could eat, like, I'll eat, like, an In-N-Out burger here and there. I'm not going to, like,
In-N-Out's a good cheat meal, honestly. Like, if you get protein style, don't get fries, because fries, like, holy crap, fries are terrible for you.
They are.
But perfect cheat meal, at least for me, is going to In-N-Out and getting a 4x2. So 4 patties, 2 slices of cheese, added some chopped chilies, have that shit lettuce wrapped. Perfect cheat meal, because they're not frying the meat in seed oils, so you don't have to worry about those extra nasty oils entering your body. And In-N-Out's beef, they actually source it from higher quality cattle rather than McDonald's.
Yeah, you could tell the difference, especially like the McDonald's burgers are like, if you buy one, they're just dripping in grease. In-N-Out's like stable, and you can it's not gonna make your fingers all wet. One of my favorite cheat meals is making a burrito at home. I cut up some steak, get some white rice, and then some like black beans or pinto beans or whatever I like, right? That's the best meal for me, because it's just like, it's good, and it tastes good, and it makes you feel good, so you're not going to feel like really bad the rest of the day. But if you buy a burrito, let's say from like a restaurant, maybe it won't be that good, because they have all the nasty stuff. They don't clean their fryers. So I'd rather just make my food at home.
No, absolutely. Yeah. Like, even when you try to order healthy dishes from restaurants, a lot of people make these mistakes too. They eat out because of convenience, or I know a lot of super wealthy guys who Uber Eat every single night because they can afford it, so they'll try to like Uber Eats from a somewhat healthy place, maybe like a steakhouse, but they're still getting the nasty oils because they use those seed oils for everything. Now some like higher end restaurants, they'll use butter, but still like the best ingredients you could get are the ones you're buying for yourself. Like, you go to the store, like I love going to Whole Foods or Sprouts and getting grass-fed butter or just pure beef tallow, and I'll cook all of my food in a mixture of grass-fed butter and beef tallow. So I'm actually getting really good nutrients, and I know for a fact I'm not getting any like oils snuck into my food.
Yeah, there's something that made me think about. You can make like your own pre-workout. So let's say you're like, oh, I don't want to buy this pre-workout because you don't like some of the ingredients in it. You could go to one of those nutrition centers and buy the ingredients individually and make your own. So I started doing that because the other day I was looking at the shelves like, wait, they have the ingredients. So I could just like scoop how much I want, and I don't have to make like this concoction, or like I don't have to make something that's going to be terrible for me. I can make something that's good for me. And a lot of these companies, they push out these pre-workouts, but they're going to try to like make profit. So they're going to put all the cheap stuff in there, all the bad stuff, and they don't care what happens.
Yeah, pre-workouts are insane, dude. Like, you know how you get the tingles? That is not good for you whatsoever, bro.
Yeah, that comes from the beta-alanine. So that just makes, I don't know exactly how it does it with the beta-alanine. So if you don't want the tingles, don't buy beta-alanine in your pre-workout. I used to be a pre-workout junkie last year. I would take like sometimes 800 milligrams for a workout session because I was just like insane. I don't even know. I don't take it that much anymore. I take it here and there. And it makes me feel better because now I could actually be in the gym and work out with my own energy instead of working out off of something that I'm taking.
Right. Yeah, no, for me, like, I haven't done pre-workout in years now, but, like, if I do need an extra energy boost for the gym, I just do a little squirt of honey, like, make a ring, pile it up a little bit, and then sprinkle some sea salt on there, just lick it off the wrist, and that just gives me, like, that extra, get that pump in.
Another thing you could do is, like, orange juice or cranberry juice or apple juice. Those things are really good for you, especially if you make it yourself. I like cranberry juice especially because it makes you, if you have like urinary infection or any urinary problems, if you drink cranberry juice, it'll get it off like right away. And it also helps you get stronger. There's like controlled studies about this, and I was like, I'm going to try it, and it would help me get stronger in the gym.
Yeah, definitely. So I want to ask you, as someone who's going through such a incredibly challenging experience, for people watching who have trouble just being motivated in life in general, like, what would you tell those people to be able to get on track, start achieving their goals, and change their life around?
Try to find a purpose. A lot of people think they don't have a purpose. I really thought I was useless. I was like, I don't have really any purpose. And I started posting my videos, and a lot of people found value in that. And I was like, you know what? Even though I'm not the strongest, I'm not like completely healthy right now, and I can't work, at least I could find value in helping people. And that made me want to just keep fighting and keep living. And if I wouldn't have done that, who knows, I would have probably been depressed and at home not wanting to do anything. And that's where it comes from. It's just the mental game of you need to find something that you love doing. And that's where the gym comes in. I love the gym. I set goals for myself. And I think being Christian also helped me a lot because I have faith in Jesus. I read the Bible. There's a lot of passages that say, like, you know, don't give up. Or there's a lot, like, people ask me, like, oh, why'd you get cancer? Or was it because someone sinned? Or were you doing something bad? I'm like, how does that even make sense? And there's a passage in the Bible where it says that one of the apostles asked Jesus, why is that man blind right there? Did he sin, or did his parents sin? And he said, no, he was blind so that I could glorify myself through him. And he went up to him and he cured his blindness. And this guy was like, oh, shoot, I can see now. And everyone saw the glory of Jesus through him. So that's something that, like, really affected me positively, was being Christian and finding God.
Yeah, no, that's amazing. I think God could definitely influence a lot of people's lives. Even though I'm not Christian myself, I feel like I have a very close relationship with God, and I consult him on everything. Like, even just being thankful for little things throughout the day can just make you a so much happier person. Like, I always tell everybody who's struggling mentally, like, if you really want to start feeling better, the simplest, easiest thing you can do is simply find 3 things to be thankful for every night before you go to bed. Like, lie down, no cell phone or anything. Think what happened to your day. It could be as simple as being able to afford, like, high quality eggs. They taste better. There's more nutrients in there. So, like, for me, like, I had some eggs this morning. Felt really grateful for those eggs. I woke up and it was partially sunny outside. It was warm. I was very grateful for the weather. And then I was grateful for having this really nice truck that I drove here today. It's simple things. Like, even if you don't have really nice things, like, say you don't have a nice vehicle, but you do have a vehicle, you could be thankful for that vehicle. Because if you didn't have a vehicle, you'd have to walk. Be thankful for just being a functional human being. Like, I got all of my arms, all of my legs. Like, I was in the Marine Corps for nearly 10 years, dude, and I know a lot of guys who lost legs, lost arms, and I'm all here. I'm not mentally effed up because I didn't have to go see a bunch of my friends die in Afghanistan, fortunately. And those are just all small things to just be grateful for.
Yeah, one of the things I like doing is, especially if I go to, like, a store or I just go out, I like saying hi to people. I like be like hi, or smile at them, or if I hold the door open for them, it's good to do that because then you get to see someone else smile, and it kind of makes you smile more because you're like, dang, I made this person's day maybe. And like today I was at the gym, and there was 2 guys that wanted to use a machine I was using. I was like, hey, just hop in with me and we could talk about stuff. And I started talking to them about what they were from, what they were doing here. And that conversation, maybe it made their day. Maybe no one wanted to have a conversation with them that day. And I was the one that made it where it was like, okay, now I know that there's people that care about me. Because a lot of people think that nobody cares about you, but then there is people that do care about you. It's just that it's hard to find it because there's a lot of evil in this world. So just try to be nicer to someone else because that might influence them to be nicer to someone else too.
Definitely. And at the end of the day, like, if you want people to care, you have to be as a man anyway, it's a lot different for women. I think naturally women, like, people care for women. Mm-hmm. It's kind of like the natural way of life. But when it comes to men, it's harder for men to have people care about them because I feel like naturally the world doesn't necessarily care about men. So that's why it's so important as the individual man. You have to be able to be somebody that's worthy to be cared about. Because, like, otherwise, if, like, you as a dude, if you're not contributing to society, really nobody cares. Mm-mm. And that's why so many men feel completely alone and lonely within their life. It's because they're not really doing something that is meaningful. They don't have a purpose in life. And of course, like, people aren't going to care about them when they're not. Right?
Yeah. A lot of this stems from, like, people care too much about what other people think. So let's say I want to start a business, and then I'm like, but what will this person think? What is that person going to think? Or what's the world going to think? Why do you care about what the world thinks if they don't care about you right now? Make yourself something successful, and then you're going to see that people are going to start caring. You're gonna care about what people think right now when you're losing. Why not care about what people think when you're winning? You know what I mean?
Right, exactly, man. Well, final question for you, brother. What's next for you? What's coming up?
I'm thinking of next year. I want to hopefully hit 315 again for bench, and then after that, I'm trying to open up my gym. I just need to find the right funding for it. I want to open a powerlifting gym. I want to make it like a perfect environment for people that just want to move on to the next level, because there's people that go to gyms and then they're like, they feel weak, and then when they see someone that's working hard, they're like, oh yeah, let me work hard too. I want that environment in my gym. I want it to be a place where you find your rival and you guys just elevate each other. That's what I want to do.
Yeah, absolutely, man. That's awesome. Well, hey, thank you so much for coming on the show. Is there any last things you'd like to tell the audience?
Yeah, if you guys need any motivation, you guys could find it in yourself, because a lot of the times you don't even realize there's things that you've been through that you've overcome. Like for me, I was homeless at one point, and I look back on that and I'm like, dang, I really overcame that. I really overcame that with my family. I had a car that was pretty trash. It was like a summer, it was like 120 degrees, and I was in that car with no AC. And I think back at that, I'm like, wait, I overcame that. And I'm like, you know what? I am stronger than I think I am. And you guys might not think you're strong at all, but if you look back at your life, you will find things that show that you are strong.
Yeah, that's incredible, man. Well, Chris, it's been a pleasure, brother. Thank you very much.
Appreciate it.
And for you guys tuning in, thanks for watching the JD Show. It's been another Mastermind Monday episode. If you like what you saw, please be sure to hit like, subscribe, drop a comment in the comment section down below. Give me some feedback. And if you'd like to give Chris a follow, we'll also post his links for his Instagram. You're also on TikTok. What other platforms?
I have a YouTube as well. I haven't posted that much on there. I'm going to start posting it soon, so I will send you the...
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we'll tag all of his links, guys. Check him out. But with that being said, we'll see you next time.